Hi everyone, it's Kaylee. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel for some of you. Anyone that's new, please subscribe. I look a little bit different today, and that's because a friend of mine, Briana, who is also a YouTuber, did my makeup for a video on her channel. This part is somewhat my collab just to show off what she did on my face today. So if you want to see that whole process and all of the products used, the link to that is in the description. I feel like I look so different. I don't know why. I feel like I look like not myself. But it's not in a bad way, like in a good way, it's just different. Anyway, this is going to be a story time that's sort of the basis of a lot of other stories. So I don't know if you all have noticed on my channel, but I'm starting a lot of different series right now. A lot of the skeletal work of a big, fleshy, beautiful project. That sounds really gross when I say it that way. I'm just starting out videos that lead into a lot of other things, that branches, okay? It's a river and then it branches into many streams. That sounds better than the first thing. Weird. So anyway, this is going to be the story and somewhat the reaction to some old pictures of me, but mostly the story of how I became a model. I used to be a model when I was a teenager. Up until my early 20s. I'm 24 now, so I was around 21, 22 when I stopped doing modeling. Not for any reason, I just sort of fell out of it, but I still really like it. I'll probably go back to it eventually because it was something that I really liked to do. But from that point on, we're gonna talk about that and we're gonna look at some pictures. Yay, teenage Kaylee. And it'll be fun, so let's get started. I was bullied as a child. That came to a head and then ended in high school. But when I was a younger teenager, my bullying was pretty bad. I was always told that I was ugly, always told that I was fat. I had really big bug eyes. I had a huge bubble butt, which who would have ever guessed that that would have become a feature that everyone loves now all of a sudden. Before that wasn't true, but yeah, I was made fun of for that. My body, mostly everything was my body and my looks, and I hated that. And I was sick of it because I did not think that I was the greatest looking person in the world, but I also didn't think I was ugly. There were people in the world that I thought would think that I was beautiful and not ugly. Okay. I also didn't think I was fat, at least not that young. Of course, the self-esteem issues came in later as I was made fun of and told I was fat so many years. But at that point, I really wanted to show the world that I wasn't fat and ugly and that I was actually really awesome and beautiful and that you can turn the features that people don't like about you into things that are really beautiful. So I always really liked art. I always really liked taking photos. I started with a little silver point and shoot. I moved my way up to a really fancy DSLR camera that my mom got for me and I was so excited about it. And I took pictures of everything. Then when I started to be bullied and I started to get this idea in my head of, hey, we can make what people think's ugly into something really beautiful and cool. That was when I started to take pictures of myself. So when people ask me how I started as a model, I started by taking pictures of myself. In the days of MySpace, I really wanted to be MySpace famous. All of these really thin, really beautiful people were MySpace famous and the scene girls and everything. And I was olive toned and fat and ugly apparently. So I wanted to show them, hey, I could be MySpace famous too. So I was doing the signs and the site modeling. Do people think that really counts? I think it counts. If you're in front of a camera, you're a model. That's how I feel about it. Anybody can be a model and anybody can push themselves to do it, but I was a site model, okay? Like for like, comment for comment, blah, blah, blah. I was in that whole world because I wanted more people to see my pictures and I wanted to gain popularity on MySpace. So I was taking my own pictures with my webcam, with my little DSLR, my fancy thing. I took a lot of pictures of myself and then I started to get into, well, you know, there's only so many things I can do taking a picture of myself on a tripod. And so I asked my mom to take pictures of me. And so I was a model for my mom. And I always put together and created these really interesting ideas for shoots and stuff like that. Then I went from taking pictures with my mom to taking pictures with friends. I had one friend in particular in high school that also really liked pictures and also really liked photographing girls and modeling and all that other cool stuff. And so I did a lot of pictures with her. And then I had a little bit of a repertoire going on. I had some pictures in a DeviantArt account. I thought I was the shit. Okay, I thought I was so cool. And I was pushing a message that I really cared about. You don't have to fit the mold. You can be fat and ugly and you can still be beautiful and kill it, and everybody can still love you. And so I was so happy and so proud of doing that, and I felt really good doing it too. Like, I felt beautiful. People in school every day were telling me that I was so hideous and gross and that no one could ever like me, and then people online were telling me that I was so beautiful and so gorgeous and so exotic looking, and that really helped me to sort of gain a perspective on the opinions of others. It only means as much as you want it to mean to you, you know? I mean, back then, people were always telling me, you're not a real model, you're a poser, you're actually really lame. And did I let that stop me? No, because I knew that if I wanted to be a real model that was hired for real jobs, I needed a portfolio, and I was going to put that together myself. I didn't need anybody else's help. So it was me and my mom and my one little friend, and we went crazy. We created so many different scenes and so many different dynamics and so many interesting and compelling things. And then I stumbled upon a group on MySpace of alternative models. I don't remember what the name of them was. I probably wouldn't share anyway, because I don't want to put them on blast, but I found this group of around 12 models in my area, and they were all alternative with all the piercings and the tattoos, and they were so different, and I loved that. I thought that was so cool, and I wanted to be one of them so badly. I knew I had a chance. I knew I could do it. And so I put together all these pictures from myself and my mom and my friend, and I submitted them to this group, and I thought, I'm totally gonna get it. And I didn't get it. They never messaged me back, and I was like, okay, well, now I know that groups like this exist. And so if I keep doing photo shoots and I keep putting together pictures, eventually another group will come along that will accept me. And then that did happen, and there was another group, and I submitted all my pictures, and my mom took me in my backyard, and this group really liked them. This group was called the BizR Babes. The BizR Babes are still around today. I don't think they're active anymore, but they still have a Facebook page and everything. But I sent my pictures to the BizR Babes, and the person that runs the BizR Babes was like, you're in. We think that you're great. And I submitted more pictures of my friend that I had taken, and they were like, oh yeah, we want you to take photos too. We want you to be a model and a photographer. You've got both. Awesome. And so I started doing photo shoots with them all the time. This was when I was starting to get paid and I was starting to get recognized. I ended up in magazines, alternative magazines. I'll do a whole video dedicated to that. See how this builds up upon itself. It exploded out of nowhere, and it was so fun and so cool and so exciting. And so here's what I'm going to say moving forward. For anyone that wants to do modeling, photography, YouTube, any sort of creative outlet, just do it. I am going to make a lot of videos on this topic, a lot of videos that are story times about photo shoots that I did. I'm going to show you guys a lot of pictures because this is just so exciting to me. But I was taking pictures with a mattress as my backdrop. I was taking pictures in my backyard. We had the most limited resources, and we made it work, and we just did it. I would never have gotten the opportunities with the BizR Babes that I'm going to tell you all these stories about because it's so fun. But I never would have gotten any of those opportunities if I didn't put together a portfolio and work on it myself. That pushed me to be able to pursue a lot of other things moving forward into college that I never would have had the opportunity to do prior to that. And that's so cool. And so long story short, you want something, do it. And so this is the basis that leads to a lot of other stories about when I worked for the BizR Babes and I worked on these magazines and I did photo shoots. I have a story where my principal called me a porn star because of my modeling. I have stories where photographers asked me to do R-rated things with them on photo shoots. All sorts of cool shit. We're going to talk about all of it. And if you really like some of the photos and you like some of the things I had to say and you like me, like this video, and please subscribe. I appreciate all of the support. Also, my makeup look was done by my friend Briana. Again, her link is in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see me in your future soon. Bye.